It's kind of like a similar concept, I think, with the finished work of like when you still don't believe that it is fully done, the way then your purpose does, like everything changes because the way you have to shape up is very different to a, hey, it's actually done and I don't have to do any of this actually. I get to do whatever, you know. I'm not saying you can do whatever, I'm saying whatever, like as in put in whatever you want to do in that space. Um, and it's like it's a very different mindset and a very different way of living, and because I've been living towards the cross, like not in the finished work, I've always been striving to do something that's already been done. And so once I realized, hey, it's done, now it's like, okay, cool, well, now what, you know? And you kind of feel like, oh, I've lost a bit of that purpose. And so it's like I'm really challenged. Like I don't know if I'm the only one or if this makes sense, but I'm feeling a little bit lost, but at the same time I feel like I can't just go back and plug into a place that's like, and what I was saying earlier, kind of when I went to the different churches, like every church is on its mission, every church is doing its thing, every church, you know, has their own purpose, you know. And it's like depending which one you're in, and every church thinks that they're the one that's bringing revival, you know. It's like I'll go to this church and they're like, oh, we're going to do this, and then you go to another church like, hey, we're the ones, we're going to be doing this, or like, and it's not like in competition, it's just everyone really believes in what they're doing, right? And it's just like whichever body you a part of, you believe in it too, and you go after that. But like two churches right next to each other could have different purposes, and it's like just pick your one. And so it's like it's helpful because it gives you that idea of I'm a part of something bigger. But then if you actually stop and like look at it, it's like, what are we actually doing? Like, is this just we're going through motions and we're saying a lot of words to give us a good feeling, but like actually at the end of the day, and I found while I was doing all this purpose stuff, I didn't know half the people in the church. I didn't know the neighborhood. You know, I wasn't necessarily loving the people in front of me. And I think this whole thing of not having a purpose at the moment is, and I say that in inverted commas with most of what I say, but it's maybe a good thing because it's forcing me to actually like let go of that, let go of thinking about what it's going to happen in the future, what I have to be, what I need to look like, and actually just be fully present in what I'm doing right now, and actually be fully present with who's in front of me or who's around me, and actually not looking at them as projects to save, but actually just being what love is, you know, other giving, you know, sort of love, a love that's not self-centered, a love that's sacrificial, a love that looks at the other person and actually hears what they want and need, and is that, you know. And it's like we've experienced this a lot, like you're with someone and you think, let's just say for example they're sick, and so obviously, okay, cool, I'm going to pray for you, but it's like, what if that person actually didn't want the prayer, they just wanted a meal or like some medication or something, you know. And it's like actually love stops and listens and then responds, where without love you kind of just respond on what you know you need to do and what sounds good. And this lack of purpose space is kind of like forcing me to be really present, and I'm trying. It's hard because everything pulls you into the future, and that's what Paul Young would call future tripping. And all that does is create worlds and narratives ahead of you that don't necessarily exist, and all it does is pull you away from being present with the person or the thing. And if you look at it, if I'm with someone and in the back of my head all I'm thinking is, oof, I need to pray for this person, so you're not listening to them, you're just thinking of what you need to do, you know. And I'm trying to let go of that and really listen, respond to the need that's in front of me. And but the challenge with that is sometimes this overarching of like, what is the ultimate goal, kind of. I'm sort of in that space of trying to figure out what that is, what that looks like in the space, and then at the same time trying not to, because I'm trying to just feel like just live, like just live and love, just love people in front of you, love the thing you're doing, and be fully you and fully there while you're doing it. I've got a few friends, they're amazing friends, but like sometimes when you're talking to them you can see the lights go off, like they just stop, they just check out. And I don't know if you've ever done that, like you're trying to tell a story and then like people are distracted or something, it's like you kind of get despondent. and you're sort of like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you just want to stop. And I think sometimes that's how people can feel with us. And I'm trying not to. I want to be fully like engaged with what I'm doing. And then also like, isn't that freedom and sonship is like one of the most attractive things, and not physically, I'm just talking about, is like someone who's just free and full of life and joy. And it's like, imagine you're doing something and you're not fully there because you're thinking what else you have to do. You know, you're not really enjoying it. You're not being there. And it's like, imagine you could let go of that. And whatever you're doing for this moment, you're not thinking of just now or what has to happen. But in this moment, you can just be right there, your full self, and like give your everything to that. Maybe that moment sparks something in someone else, you know. Maybe that person you're with really feels like, wow, this person. And if I think of Jesus, like, if he did, I mean, he did a lot of things, but he was just present with people. He was there. I mean, even walking up to the sick people and like asking them what they want. What would you like me to do for you? It's like, oh, I'm sick. One would assume, heal me, you know, but he would still ask. And he sat with people and he was just there, you know, Christ with us, Emmanuel. Jesus is with us, like being with people, being with whatever you're doing, and obviously aware that you're in Christ and Christ is in you this whole time. So wherever you go, he is. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, but it's just that sort of thinking. So that's where I'm at for my Monday morning. About to go in and have breakfast and trying to be fully present there, even though I've got 1,000 things pressing me and wanting to steal my attention. But maybe just, you know, and maybe it doesn't start with like every single moment being able to do it, like, but maybe it starts with just right now stopping and just being like so aware of where I'm at right now, being present, realizing God with me now, and moment by moment just doing that. And maybe that leads to a lifestyle of not being so pressed and worried about what it has to look like or what I have to achieve, what my ministry needs to look like, or and maybe I can be free of that and just a blessing to whoever's around me, and trust that the ripples will lead me to where I need to be, whether it's great or not. And that's probably a thought for maybe later on my way home, is like this thing of my life needs to be great. And what is greatness at the end of the day? And if I was just I have a wife, so if I was just a husband to my wife, and would that be enough? And we lived out our days, you know. Currently it's not. I want this and I want to look like this and I want to make an impact, and which are all good things, but in this season I think learning to let go of that actually, and being quite at peace with just living and being present with those around me. Because the thing about future tripping is you have no control of it. You have zero control of making it happen. You know, you can't control who you're going to come in contact with or how you're going to impact them in the future, you know, but what you can control is the present, who you are right now. And so it's like, yeah, remain present, love, you know. And it's always that simple, right? Just love God and love people. Like, just do the next thing. And that's why, like, I was really impacted by Iris, because their whole motto was like, stop for the one. Like, just love who's in front of you. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. We don't have to make it more than that. I feel like all my life being in certain circles, you know this, but it's always about everything else, and it always gets made more than that. And I just want to, maybe take a break from that and just try love myself firstly in these moments, and then love those around me and be fully me and fully present. So that's me for now, signing off. Chat to myself again later.